So guys, chapter number 1 of accounting is introduction to accounts. So in this we'll be learning what is accounting. So accounting is a systematic process. It is a systematic process of identifying, measuring, recording, classifying, summarizing, interpreting, and communicating of the financial information. So basically this, whatever I've underlined in the blue color, is what is the definition or meaning of accounting. Now we have to break this into different parts and understand what are they trying to intend. Okay, accounting is a systematic process. So you understand what is a systematic process? Can I say systematic process is something which is done in a very organized way so that it will be easy for us to understand?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Systematic means organized तरीके से करने का मतलब it is called systematic process. Yes sir, done. So accounting is a systematic process of what? Identifying. What are we identifying? So we are identifying financial transaction. So first we need to understand what is the meaning of transaction. Second, we need to understand the meaning of financial. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So let's understand the meaning of transaction. Transaction means what? Transaction means, trans means through, action means to do. Trans means through, action means to do. So which means I'm trying to do something through somebody. So when I say that I'm trying to do something through somebody, which means there has to be one person I'm trying to do something, and there has to be another person through whom I'm doing something. So can I say transaction means an activity which involves two people? If anything happens between two people, it is called transaction. In these two people, one person is supposed to be the business. Another could be anybody, anyone. So which means a transaction means anything which is happening between business and anyone. Anyone I can call it as a third party. Let me call it as a third party. If any activity which happens between business and the third party, it is called transaction. Correct? So every transaction involve minimum 2% and 2 account. You can call you can call this business as person and third party as a person, or technically you can call it as account also. Okay, you can call it as account also. So transaction means an activity which is happening between two people, in which one person is the businessman, and I would say rather not businessman, it is business, and second is any third party. Okay, example, Ram purchases chair from Raja. So Ram is purchasing chair from Raja. So why is Ram purchasing? Can I say Ram is purchasing chair because he'll purchase it and he'll sell it? Business means what? I buy something, I keep my profit and I sell it. So Ram is purchasing from Raja. So one person is Ram, another person is Raja. So can I say it is a transaction happening between two people?
Yes, sir.
What is happening? Ram is taking chair from Raja.
Chair from Raja.
Correct. So this is one kind of transaction. Another transaction example, Ram purchases chair from Raja on credit. So again, there is one account called Ram account, another account called Raja account. So can I say there's something happening between Ram and Raja? What is it happening? They're purchasing chair. So transaction means any activity which is happening between two people. It's called transaction. Again, second, what happens? He's buying on credit. So he's paying, Ram is purchasing the chair without making the payment. So which means he'll make the payment at later date. So in second instance, what happens is Ram now paying cash to Raja for the purchase of the chair. So the chair which he purchased here, now he's making the payment. So again, can I call this as a transaction where there's something happening between Ram and Raja? What is that something? That something is
Transaction.
payment and receipt of cash. So any transaction will involve two accounts. In that, one account will be business account and second account will be a third party account. And there's some activity which happens between the two persons. It is called transaction. If you're clear with this, we'll go back to the topic. So we are trying to identify transaction. So for me, if I have to go ahead and do accounting, then I need to identify a transaction. So transaction is clear. What do you mean by financial transaction? Finance means what?
Monetary.
Finance means money.
Yes, sir.
So in business, if I have to account anything, I need those kind of transaction, those kind of activities which is happening between two people, and that activity should eventually lead to money, eventually lead to receiving or giving money. So here, if I come to that second point, Ram is purchasing chair from Raja on cash. So there is an activity happening between Ram and Raja where chair is being purchased. Can I say along with this, cash is also being paid? Take any example you take, 1, 2, 3, 4, anything. In every transaction, money or money's worth, money or money's worth is involved. What is money? Money is very clear. Cash. Money's worth means what? If I'm buying a printer, I have to pay you cash.
Yes,
If I
sir.
buy a printer, I have to pay cash. If I buy a printer, I do not have cash. Instead of printer, I'm giving you, let's suppose, a phone. So printer is worth 15,000 rupees. So okay, I'm buying printer from you. I have to give you cash, but I don't have cash. Instead, I'm giving you a phone of same worth 15,000 rupees. So can I call this phone as money's worth? Because I'm supposed to pay you 15,000 rupees money. Instead of giving you 15,000 money, I'm giving money's worth of phone. 15,000 worth of phone I'm giving. So can I call this as money's worth? Isn't it worth
Sir.
of money? So the financial transaction means any transaction which is happening between two people, plus it should involve the transaction or exchange of money or money's worth. Right? So because accounting, what do we, at the end of the day, what is accounting? Accounting is all about money. How much money came in, how much money went out. It's all money, 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 money. So I'm only concerned about those transactions which involves money. Sir, in business, is there any transaction which does not involve money? Yes, it is. Any thought process? My question to all of you, you might think, sir, obviously in business, everything will be money, no? Is there any transaction without money? Yes. Can you think of any example?
Sir, through check.
Check is also money, money, money only. Check is also equally treated as money. So I
Sir,
want to
can you
know.
repeat the question?
Sir, that phone
I want
example.
to know. I said you that in business, every transaction that will. So this is the doubt that will come in your mind, sir. In business, obviously, if there is any transaction, it will involve money only. No, is there any transaction that will involve money? I'm saying yes. So you need to tell me which transactions are such a nature where it is a business transaction, but it is not involving money.
Sir, this technique was there before
ATM,
only, sir.
Google Pay, sir.
Everything is money. Everything is money. So let me tell you. Okay, this
Yes,
is a
sir.
businessman. Let's say I'm Fortune Academy. Can I say Fortune Academy is a business?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there is a teacher who is coming. A teacher is coming for interview. Okay, I want to recruit a teacher. Let's suppose a maths teacher. So a teacher is coming and giving me the interview. I'm taking interview. After conducting the interview, I'm happy with the teacher. I'm telling the teacher, teacher, you are appointed. I'm telling teacher, you are appointed. So the moment I say the teacher is appointed, can I say there is a transaction happening between Fortune Academy and the teacher? Because transaction means what? I'm doing something. So I'm appointing teacher. So I'm doing something. I'm appointing teacher. This is the transaction. And transaction means what? Anything which is happening between two accounts. So teacher is one account and Fortune Academy is another account. So this appointment procedure is called a transaction. But when I'm appointing teacher, am I giving money to her or is she giving money to me?
No, sir.
Sir, no money transaction.
No money transaction. But do you agree that if Fortune Academy appoints a teacher, this appointment process is called an activity? Do you consider
Sir.
this appointment as an activity or transaction?
Sir, actually,
Transactions.
It is a transaction. See, transaction is very simple. Any commitment or anything which is happening between two people, two accounts is called. So in this case, what is happening between these two people? Between these two people, appointment is happening. So academy is appointing a teacher. So this is a transaction, but money is not involved. So when I appoint a teacher, will I record any transaction in my accounts? Will I record any accounting entry for this? No,
No.
because money is not involved. What will I record? But yes, when Fortune Academy is paying salary to the teacher now Fortune Academy is paying salary. So can I say when I give salary to teacher, there's a transaction happening between academy and the teacher. I'm paying salary to teacher. Can I say salary you can measure in terms of money?
yes, sir.
Let's say 15,000 rupees salary. Now, will you record this or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I need to record this because this is my expenditure. I need to record this. This is my expense. So are you able to understand and differentiate between? So can I say this is a non-financial transaction and this is a financial transaction? Are you able to feel the difference?
Yes, sir.
Transaction means anything which happens between two people two account is called transaction. If that transaction involves additionally money, then it is called a financial transaction. So in business, we are concerned with what kind of transaction? A transaction which is financial transaction. So accounting is a systematic process of identifying financial transaction. Now I would say financial transaction is not alone sufficient. You need to also look for a business financial transaction. What is business financial transaction? Let's suppose I go to movie. I buy a ticket. So can I say let's say if you're going to Brookfields. So I'm going to Brookfields, let's say Spy Cinemas, right? If I'm not wrong here.
Yes, sir.
Spy Cinemas, which is unfortunately closed because of COVID. Generally, in olden days, Spy Cinemas used to sell the ticket. I am purchasing the ticket. So let's say Pratik is purchasing the ticket. So can I say it is something happening between two people? So Spy Cinema is one people and SPJ is another. SPJ is me. Okay. So can I say it is a transaction? So Spy Cinema is giving ticket and I am giving money in return. So can I say it is a financial transaction?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes. Will I record this in my books? Will I record in my business?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because this is not okay. The next question, if you say yes, my question to you is it something which is happening with regard to business?
Oh, no, sir. For business.
So
No,
can I
sir.
say it is something which is personal?
Yes, sir. Personal.
So the moment I say, sir, financial transaction means, it does not mean that every financial transaction you'll record. No. You need to identify only business financial transaction. Now this is a personal financial transaction. So I will not record this in business. Are you able to find the difference? So I am looking for what? I need to identify a business financial transaction, which means a transaction which involves money, and that should happen for the business purpose, for the development of the business. First point, is it clear?
Sir, one doubt.
Yes, sir.
Yes, boss.
Sir, then why we will record that drawings account, sir, in accounts book, sir?
Drawings account will come. When I come to your basic terms of accounting, I'll explain the meaning of drawing. So eventually today, when we start class at 7:30, I'll explain you what is the meaning of drawings. You will understand drawings eventually. You are confused that, sir, I'm withdrawing money for personal purpose, then why are we recording? That I'll explain you exactly when I come in today's session. And when I do journal entry chapter, you'll get much more clarity. Much more clarity. All your doubts will get answered. Just remind me your doubt when you come to this drawing topic. Just remind me once, I'll explain you then and there.
Yes, sir.
Right? So accounting is a systematic process of identifying. What am I identifying? A business financial transaction. After identifying it, I need to measure in terms of money. See, I know that a transaction is a financial transaction, but I need to check, what is the money involved in it. I'm identifying a business transaction which involves money, but I need to know how much money, because when I record a journal entry, I need to record the money. 15,000, 20,000, 30,000. So I need to measure how much is the money. Whether it is 1 lakh, 10 lakhs, 15 crores, 1 crore. So accounting is a systematic process of identifying a business financial transaction, also measuring in terms of money. These are the first two points. If you are clear with this point, I'll go to the next point.
Yes, sir.
So after you identify and after you measure in terms of money, this is the first step of practical accounting. This is the practical step 1. This is the practical step 1. The first two step is important. This is theoretical step. The practical part where you will start doing the accounting work is from this step. So you need to record. The first activity of accounting is, after identification and measuring, is recording. So how do I record in accounts? I will record in form of journal entry. So I will take the help of journal. Journal entry, there's a separate independent chapter as to how do we record journal entry. So what is journal entry? I'll explain in detail when we come to journal entry chapter. So now what are we understanding? Sir, accounting involves recording. So without recording, I cannot complete my accounting. So who will help me in recording? Sir, journal entry will help me in recording.
One doubt.
Yes, boss.
Sir, while you were teaching journal chapters on Thursday, sir.
Yes.
The chronological order, you said some examples, sir. Can you say that?
Yeah, I'm coming to that. So basically, after you identify and measure, when you record, you'll record in chronological order. What is chronological order? Very simple. Today morning, I started my business. Let's suppose at 10 a.m. I went to one shop to purchase a laptop. Correct? Then
Okay,
after
sir.
what I did, I came back on the way 11 a.m. I put petrol in my car at 11 a.m. Then after that, what happened? At 12 p.m., I came to my shop and I sold my laptop. Correct? So in which order you should record? Chronological order means the order in which the transaction has taken place. So can I say purchase of laptop? Do you call it as a business financial transaction? Did I purchase laptop with the intention to sell?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Can I say it involves money? When I purchase, obviously I would have paid money.
Yes, sir.
So can I call it as a business financial transaction?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Second, petrol. Petrol, do you call it as business financial transaction? Because petrol I am doing for business purpose. I filled petrol because I am traveling all over. I need petrol in my vehicle. So can I call this as a business financial transaction?
Yes, sir. You can.
Yes. And then I sold the laptop. So at 12 p.m. even this is a business financial transaction. So
Yes,
in
sir.
what order you'll record? You'll record in the chronological order. What is chronological order? In the order in which it first took place. So first transaction that took
Purchase.
place is purchase. Second is petrol.
Petrol.
Third is
Solding.
so in this
Sold.
order only you will do everyday basis. So it could be that this so laptop you would have sold at the next day also. Then you'll record this laptop in the next day. So on day-to-day basis, basically the journal entry has to be recorded on everyday basis as and when it is happening. Are we clear with the chronological order of recording journal entry?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay, excellent. So once you record in form of journal entry, immediately after recording, you need to transfer by classifying. So transfer process is called posting. So what happens is the moment you complete recording, after recording, the next step will be transferring the account or the transaction from journal to ledger. I repeat, after you do the recording in form of journal entry, it will be transferred or posted. The technical word is posted to the ledger. Why do we post it in the ledger? Because we need to classify each and every transaction. We classify in ledger form. So classification process is called ledger. So we have a separate independent chapter as to what is classification. So after you classify, then you need to summarize. So summarizing takes place in trial balance, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. So you must be wondering, sir, what is journal, what is ledger, what is trial balance, what is P&L account, what is balance sheet? I'll tell you everything. Everything will be explained. Don't worry. So once you complete the recording process, second step is classifying, and third step is summarizing. Summarizing will happen in trial balance, P&L account, and balance sheet. So what is the ultimate purpose of having accounting? Why do we do accounting? Ultimate purpose.
To know our business financial position.
Okay. So before that, the main purpose.
To know the everyday transactions happens.
What will you get by just knowing the everyday transaction? What are you getting? Is it a meaningful information? Can I say the meaningful information will be to know the profit or loss of the business?
Yes, sir.
So can I say the first motive of accounting should be to know what is the profit and loss. If I'm starting a business today, if I'm not able to know after 1 year or 2 year, am I profitable or am I at loss? If you are profitable, well and good. If you are lost, at least you should see the accounts and identify why is it in loss, why is business in loss. So accounting will help you to identify what is your profit and loss. In case if your business is going in loss, if you analyze the accounts in detail, that will also give you information why it is in loss, and accordingly you can take steps which can lead to profitability. So why is loss more? Maybe loss is more because my expense is too much. So looking at the accounts, you can decide, right? Okay, from next year onwards, we should cut the expenses. Yes or no? So is account helping you to identify your profitability or loss, or yes or no?
Yes.
Now, do you understand? First of all, if you do anything in your life or anything, it should have a purpose. If there is no purpose, there is no point in doing it. If you're taking so much effort of doing accounting, you need to understand what is the essence of accounting. If that essence is understood, then you will understand and enjoy each and every element of it. But you don't know what you're doing, then whatever I say you, it will be Greek and Latin. You're just doing for exam purpose, but not for real purpose. Forget exam at the moment. We're trying to understand, there's a concept called accounting. If I understand the concept of accounting and if I implement in my business, that can give me a lot of benefit. So for that benefit's sake, can you understand accounting? Is it important to understand accounting properly? Tomorrow, if you do business, whatever knowledge you're gaining today, can I say you'll apply there? So is this session helping you tomorrow or not?
Yes, sir, it will.
Right? So anything, what you study should make sense. The first and foremost motive of accounting is profit and loss. Second is financial position. I ask a lot of people, including your 12th standard senior people, I ask, what is the meaning of financial position? Nobody till date have given me a good answer. They say, sir, financial position is identified through balance sheet. I don't want this. I want to know what is financial position. What position are you trying to identify?
Whether business is in profit or
Sorry?
loss. Sorry, business is in profit or loss.
Profit and loss is coming from this profit and loss statement account. No, this is giving me profit and loss. What is financial position helping me? Financial position will not help your profit and loss. It will not give the impact of profit and loss.
Financial
To know the profit and loss,
means where our
to know this profit and loss, you need to prepare this trading and P&L account. This trading and P&L account is something which will give you profitability. So this trading and P&L is giving you your profit and loss. This balance sheet, what you're preparing, is giving you financial position. So what is the meaning? What is the purpose of financial position? Yes, you're saying something.
financial positions means the amount we have that would be saved. That is called financial position.
Okay, let me give you an example. Okay,
Okay, sir.
let's say you purchased a laptop and sold a laptop, right? So let's suppose
Yes,
that
sir.
you sold a laptop for,
Okay, sir.
let's suppose 30,000 rupees. Or let's say 35,000 rupees you sold a laptop for. So obviously to sell this laptop, you would have purchased it. So can I say my purchase of laptop is 20,000 rupees? Correct?
Yes, sir.
So 35,000 is the price at which I sold. 20,000 is my purchase cost. So 35 is the sales price. 20,000 is the purchase cost. Can I say
Yes.
15,000 is my profit?
Profit.
So this is my profit. So this will get reflected in my trading and P&L account. My trading and profit and loss account will give me this information. So what is balance sheet giving me? Balance sheet is giving me the position of assets and liabilities. What is assets and liabilities? So assets is nothing but, I'll explain in detail in the second chapter. Assets, under asset we have something called cash. Okay, you know the profitability is 15,000 rupees, but do you know how much cash is there in your hand? At the end of the business hours, you know what is the cash that is left in your hand? So can I say that 35,000 is the money that you've spent?
Yes, sir.
35,000 is the money that you have received from the customer. 20,000 is
20,000
spent. So luckily in this case, your cash is also 15,000 rupees, which means 35,000 rupees you spent. Sorry, you earned. 35,000 is received cash and 20,000 you gave to whom? The supplier. So the 15,000
Yes,
is
sir.
profit and 15,000 is cash. So luckily in this question, it is so happening that your profit and cash is matching. I'll give you another example. In next example, today what happened is I sold laptop for 35,000 rupees, less my purchase of laptop is 20,000 rupees. So 15,000 is my profit. No change in profit.
Okay.
No change in profit. Now what
Yes.
I did is, when I sold the laptop to customer gave me cash. But when I purchased the laptop from the supplier, I did not pay him cash. I told him afterwards, after 1 month, I'll pay cash. So today I'm preparing my P&L. So today my profit is 15,000 rupees. If I open my balance sheet, in cash column, what will be the money in your hand? What will be the money or cash available in your pocket? 15,000 or 35,000?
15.
Remember, 35,000 my customer has given me 35,000. I have not given. In previous case, 35,000 I collected cash and I get 20,000 cash. So my net cash, the final cash which is there in my pocket is 15. But in this case, I have not paid to the supplier. So what is the cash that is left in your pocket?
35.
Okay. This is just two transactions. This is one transaction. This is another transaction. In this transaction itself, there is two variants I showed you. In business, is there only one or two transactions happening on daily basis? In year, in complete year, can I say thousands of transactions happen?
Sir.
Human beingly possible to remember everything?
Oh, sir.
Right? So that is why we take the help of accounting. Accounting is nothing but whatever is happening in the business, we record it somewhere so that tomorrow I'll get to know, after 1 year, I'll get to know what is my profit. In this case, what is the cash available? So cash available is giving the position of the cash. So balance sheet will have lot of items. So each item, it is giving the position of each item. So cash means what? It is giving me the position of cash. How much cash is left with me? Getting my point? So this is the balance sheet. In this balance sheet, I'm getting the position of my cash. Now my cash in hand is 35,000. This is what is called financial position. This is just one example. Like that, I can give you n number of example what financial position means. Everybody tells, balance sheet is prepared to know financial position, but nobody understands what is the meaning of financial position. So in my entire 11th and 12th, I'll give you so many examples at so many places, which will logically, make you think, okay, this is why we're doing this. You're getting my point? So can I say the ultimate motive of accounting is nothing but to know my profit and loss and financial position. My profit and loss is known through trading and P&L account and balance sheet. So if I want to know this trading and P&L account, and if I want to prepare this balance sheet, I need the help of first journal entry. From journal, I'll be preparing ledger. So ledger will be the second person, and third is trial balance, 3. So first step is journal entry. Then from journal, it will go to ledger. From ledger, it will go to trial balance. From trial balance, few things will go to trading and P&L account, and few things will go to balance sheet. So for me to get to this level without the help of journal entry, ledger and trial balance, it is impossible. It is impossible. Are you getting the feeling of accounting, how it is happening, how is the process? So accounting is a systematic process of identifying a business financial transaction. Then you measure in terms of money, because I need to record only money value in the accounting. So once I identify the transaction and measure in terms of money, I record with the help of journal entry. From journal, I will transfer or post it to ledger. From ledger, I'll transfer it to trial balance, and from trial balance, few items will go to trading and P&L account, and few items will go to balance sheet. Okay, this is called classifying and summarizing. Now the question you might wonder is, sir, journal entry, I understood. Every transaction recording journal entry. Why ledger? Why ledger? Now I'll ask you a simple question. So when I'm doing sale, can I say like this? I'll be doing 1,000 transactions. 1,000 times I'll sell during the year. Guys, today I'm selling a laptop for 35,000 rupees. Tomorrow again I'm selling laptop for 45,000 rupees, another laptop. Day after tomorrow another I'm selling 20,000 rupees. So can I say you'll record journal entry for each and every time you make a sale?
Yes,
For
sir.
each journal, so journal for every transaction, every single transaction, whether it is purchase transaction, whether it is sale transaction, whether it is expense transaction, for every single transaction, there'll be one journal entry. So like that, can I say there'll be thousands of journal entries? Thousands of journal entries. Now, if I want to know, if I'm asking you, Ayush and Nikhil, at the end of the year, after you recorded thousands of sales entry, if I ask you, please tell me what is the total sales, will you be in position to tell me what is the total sales?
No, sir.
So that is why we take the help of ledger. So in ledger, what happens is, the moment you record the journal entry, immediately you record in the sale ledger. You record in the sale ledger. Okay, today 35,000. Okay, total is, so today I sold laptop for 35. Today another laptop I sold for 45,000. So what is the total? Total is how much? 80,000. Okay. Tomorrow I record another sale of 20,000. Now how much total sale?
Lakh.
1 lakh rupees. So can I say the moment you're recording in ledger, you're able to get the total of every transaction one by one?
Yes, sir.
So journal entry will give you picture of every single journal entry, every single transaction. Journal entry will give you a picture of every single transaction Whereas ledger is giving you total. So this sale ledger is we call it as account. So it will give the picture of entire sale ledger transaction. It will give the picture of entire sale transaction. What is my total sales? So if I go in this ledger, each day how much I sold. So today I sold 80, tomorrow I sold for 20. It will give me the breakup. Will it be helpful or not helpful? So you total it on day-to-day basis. Every day basis, you take the transaction and shift it to ledger so that you get the total. This is one total. This is another total. Like that, every day end, you'll get the total. And this total will get accumulated. So after at the last, you'll get to know that, okay, in the entire year, I made a sale of total 10 lakh rupees. Will this be helpful or not helpful? So when I look at this page, what will I understand? Oh, in this entire year, I've done a business of 10 lakh rupees. Will you get some information or not? Just imagine if
Yes,
ledger
sir.
is not there. If ledger is not there, if I just keep on passing 1,000 journal entries, can you at the end of the year, will you able to identify how much sales you've made?
Not at all.
Oh, sir.
So yeah, so journal entry will not give you 100% meaning, but sales ledger will give you some meaning. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this is journal and this is ledger. Okay, what is trial balance? Now what happens is, like the sales ledger, you'll be creating multiple ledger. The sales ledger is called account. So I'll be creating sales account. I'll be creating purchase account. I'll be creating different expenses. In, let's say it is, tea expenses, petrol expense. For each expense, you'll create account. Right? For cash, you'll create account. For bank, you'll create separate account. So all this put together is called books of accounts. It is called books of accounts.
Account.
Right? So all this thing will be there. Sales is there, purchase is there, expense is there, cash is there, everything is there. But when you have so many different account, is it giving you any meaningful information again? Instead of ledger, if I transfer whatever the value is there in the ledger, if I transfer in trial balance. So in trial balance, what I'll do, I'll split into two parts. I'll record sale, the total of the sale. Sir, the total of the sale is 10 lakh rupees. What is the total of expense? So total of expense is 4 lakh rupees. The total of purchase is another 3 lakh rupees. What is my cash? My cash available is 4 lakh rupees. So can I say trial balance is giving little bit more meaningful information than ledger? When I look at the trial balance, is it giving me a complete picture? Okay, my sale is so much, my expense is so much, my purchase is so much, my cash is so much. Can I say it is giving you summary of each and every account? Summary
Yes.
means what? Total. It is giving a summary. So what did we learn? We learned that summarizing is happening through trial balance. After classifying in ledger, we summarize to trial balance. So what happens? Once you completed the accounts, the total of the accounts, total of each and every account, you are trying to look in the trial balance. So when you look at the trial balance, are you getting some meaningful information? Are you able to get the total picture of the entire business of the one full year? Are you able to feel the step-by-step procedure? Nikhil, Ayush, are you able to feel the step-by-step procedure?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, my question is trial balance still giving you meaningful information? I would say no. So after trial balance, what I do is I prepare my what? Trading and P&L account. Trading and P&L account. So what I do, I record my sale. My sale is 10 lakh rupees. My expense is 4 lakh rupees. My purchase is 3 lakh rupees. So what is my profit left? So what is my profit? From 10 lakh, minus 4 lakh and minus 3 lakh.
3 lakhs, sir.
3
3 lakh
lakhs.
is my profit. Now can I say it is giving a meaningful information? Can I say trading and P&L account is the final meaningful information which you're getting from accounts? Can I say you took so much effort this long by creating journal, ledger and trial balance? Why? To get this correct profit and loss? And second
Yes,
thing,
sir.
what? I record in my balance sheet. I'll record my cash. So looking at the balance sheet, I'll know, okay, this much profit I made. After making this much profit, my cash balance, the money which is still there in my pocket is 4 lakh rupees. So don't you want to know that after you did the business for entire 1 year, how much money is left in your pocket? Do you have that right or not? That is coming through balance sheet. So can I say that each and every item, that is whether it is journal, ledger, trial balance, it is helping us to eventually identify my profit and the position of each and every accounts of the business. Are you able to get the feel of each and every point?
Yes, sir.
So accounting is a systematic process of identifying, measuring in terms of money, recording through journal, classifying in ledger, and then summarizing in form of trial balance, P&L account, and balance sheet. After you do everything, so this, can I say, this entire work, right from identification to summarizing, is done by an accountant. An accountant is a person who does all this work, right?
Yes, sir.
So after doing all this thing, so obviously business owner will not know. Business owner will know only to do business. So accountant, after doing all this, he will analyze. Interpret means what? Analyze. And tell the owner, look at this year, you've made a profit of 3 lakh rupees. The owner will tell, how come 3 lakh? I was expecting the profit to be 5 lakh rupees. Then accountant will analyze and tell, see sir, this year you made expense of 4 lakh rupees and purchase of 3 lakh rupees. So the owner will say, why 4 lakh rupees? I estimated my expense to be 3 lakh and my purchase to be 2 lakh. How come so much we incurred? Then you have to go and explain why so much expenses happened, why so much purchases happened. So can I say the accountant is giving information to the business owner as to why this profit has come? So can I say it's analyzing each and every item, whether it is expense, purchase, sale? Is it important or not important? Will you not check your expense? Why do I need to check expense? So that tomorrow, if I feel that my expense is too much incurred now, tomorrow I'll cut down my expense. I'll reduce my expense. So can I say analyzing accounts is very important? If my sale is 10 lakh, the owner will ask, why 10 lakh? My target was 12 lakh rupees. Why did you do only 10 lakhs? So can I say accounting is, so without accounting, can you do this logical conversation? Can logical conversation happen between owner and the accountant? Without any accounts, do you think the owner and accountants can speak to each of them logically? Not possible. So can I say accounting is also helping? So accounting process is helping me to improve my business. My current accounting says that it is 10 lakh rupees is my income, whereas my owner says that it should have been 12 lakh rupees. So can I say using this accounting next year, owner will try to increase the sales income of the business? So can I say accounting is helping or not helping the businessman?
Help.
I'm not getting answer.
Sir, it is helping, sir.
It is helping. So absolutely it is necessary. So after you do complete accounting process, you need to interpret. Interpret means analyze. After analyzing, what will happen? Will accountant keep the analysis to himself? No. He will communicate to the communication of the financial information. All the accounting information is called financial information. He'll communicate this to whom? Owner. So it starts with identifying and it ends with communicating the information to the owner. I guess feeling comfortable now, little bit.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yes, boss.
Sir, in analyzing, you said that the accountant will share the information in that step itself.
So accountant is basically, he'll go through all the accounting and he will check where it, where things went right and where things went wrong. Yes. What is exact query?
Sir, you said that interpreting is the process where accountant will share the information to the owner, sir.
Not share information. Interpreting means that to share the owner to the information, first accountant has to analyze, no? So interpreting means what? Looking at the accounting, he will try and calculate things. There'll be a lot of calculations. When you come to your probably 12th standard, you'll be doing something called ratio analysis and all. So there'll be a lot of analysis which accountant will do. After doing all that analysis, you have to go and talk to the owner. So the process of analysis is called interpreting. So after interpreting, analyzing, only we go and communicate. Still you have confusion? So interpreting analysis is basically the work that is done by the accountant himself. Accountant using certain accounting analysis tool, he will analyze the accounts and he will take a proper report. He'll make a report and take it to the owner to communicate. Any doubts so far in this?
No, sir.
Yes. Now the process of identifying, measuring and recording and classifying, the first 4 steps is called as bookkeeping. So a lot of people get confused that bookkeeping, accounting and accountancy, all 3 are same. No, all the 3 are different. Bookkeeping means what? Any activity which involves identifying, measuring, recording and classifying. First 4 step is called bookkeeping. The last 3 steps, summarizing, interpreting and communication of financial information, is called accounting. So bookkeeping is a process which is normally done by an accountant. And accounting is a process that is summarizing, interpreting, and communication is done by, you can say, a chartered accountant or a senior accountant. A senior
Doubt,
accountant.
sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, what is the difference between the accountant and chartered accountant?
Accountant is a person who's got the knowledge of accounting. He's got limited knowledge of accounting. A chartered accountant is a person who's a experienced, or let's say more knowledgeable than accountant.
Okay, sir.
So basically, I'm a chartered accountant. So for me to get this knowledge, I did a lot of study. I studied a lot of subjects. I studied, a lot of what do you call, different concepts. So that makes me slightly more knowledgeable than any accountant. And it is a degree which is recognized all over India and which is valued by people all over India and world. Right? So this is bookkeeping and this is accounting. Bookkeeping and accounting process put together. Bookkeeping and accounting put together is called accountancy. So accountancy is nothing but it is a set of rules which will teach us how to do bookkeeping and accounting. Accountancy is a set of rules that will teach us how to do bookkeeping and accounting. So bookkeeping process is different, accounting process is different. Okay, not okay.
Okay, sir.
Next is what is need for accounting. I said you the first motive or first requirement of accounting is to calculate correct profit and loss of the business. Do you agree with me? And the second important process or need for accounting is to ascertain the financial position. So how do I calculate the profit and loss of the business? Through trading and P&L account. And how do I know the financial position of the business? Through balance sheet. Guys, I hope you're not feeling bored.
No, sir.
Right? If you do two-way communication, even you will feel interesting. If I keep talking, you might, slowly go into the sleep mode. That is why I'm trying to keep you engaged so that you'll not lose your interest. So do you agree with me? These are obviously there are other needs of accounting. There could be other requirement of accounting, but when I see the first and foremost two most important need of accounting, prima facie, can I say it is profit and loss and balance sheet?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is one thing. Next, period of accounting. Accounting is generally done for an means one financial year, which starts with April and ends with March. So normally your year is a calendar year that we follow. Which calendar year means something which starts with January and ends with December. Correct? Normally
Yes,
we
sir.
have this calendar year, right? So in accounting, we do not follow calendar year. We prepare accounts from the period April to March. But
Right,
my
sir.
question to all of you, is there any requirement to prepare or 1 year account? Why is it necessary 1 year? Why can't it be 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? Why 1 year? Sorry?
Sir, to know the yearly transaction, how much?
Why do you want to know yearly transaction? Why will it help? What is it helping you?
Sir, to make changes, sir, later.
Exactly. That's the right word. I appreciate. Was that Nikhil or Ayush?
Sir, Nikhil.
Nikhil, you're absolutely right, because this is my period April to March. I do accounting, and after March, I stop and close my accounting year, and I want to know what is my profit and loss. And I came to know that there is loss. So just imagine if I'm not stopping here, can I say I would have continued the same business process, and eventually for continuous 2-3 years I'll be in loss. So when I'm breaking the year in between, I'm checking that it is my loss. Will I not take adequate step to ensure that I find out the reason why I'm going into loss, and later on convert my business into profitability? So accounting here has to stop. One reason is because you need to understand, at least for 1 year, whether I was in profit or loss. If I'm in profit, whether my profit is correct or less profit. My target would have been 10 lakh as profit, but I got only 6 lakh as profit. So how am I knowing this information? Because I prepared the accounts for the entire 1 year. So the accounting period is very, very important. So this is one reason, because I need to change. If I need to make any change, then I need to understand, somewhere I have to draw a line, and I have to tell that, okay, boss, till here, do the accounts and let me know what is right and what is wrong, so that accordingly I can make necessary changes. And second step is government compulsion. Government says that you need to close accounts every 1 year, because you need to calculate the profit of this period, and on this profit you are supposed to pay tax. So government is telling that every year you have to close your accounts and calculate your profit. On that profit you have to pay me tax. So what is government doing with this tax? Government is constructing road, government is constructing railway, and so many things. So basically the money what we give to the government, using this money only, government is helping us with so many things. Road and railway is just one example. So every year, every person has to break the accounts on March. So what is the accounting period? It starts with April and ends with March. It cannot
Why
be
it is
January
like
to
this,
December.
sir?
Sorry?
Why it is not like a January to December?
Why is it not January to December? I think it was when they formed the rule, the government, when they formed the rule, in that rule, it so happened that, they decided it to be in April to March. When they framed the law, immediately from this effect, they wanted to bring the changes in the law. They didn't want to wait till next January. So let's say some law has happened, changes has happened here. So if you want to make it January, December, they have to wait this long for the law to take place, law and the changes to take place. So what they did is they agreed that April to March, let it be the financial year, because the law was framed somewhere here, and they wanted to implement it immediately. So that day happened to be April. That month, the following month happened to be April. Right? So we don't have calendar year. Calendar year is Jan to December. We don't follow this. We follow the financial year April to March. Now tell me one thing. Now this is one calendar year, January to December. This is another calendar year, January to December. So let's say this is 2019 and this is 2020. Correct? Now,
Yes, sir.
you prepare accounts from April and it goes till March. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, calendar year means I can say 2019 and 2020. But if I want to identify which year is this, how will I identify? So here, how will I identify is, we say April, accounting period is April 2019 to March 2020. So April 2019 means what? The first part, the initial part of the year is 2019 and the later part is 2020. So if you see, you will come across with a lot of this kind of word called financial year is 1920. 1920 means what? My accounting year is from April 2019 to March 20. If my financial year is 2021, so which means my financial year is starting with April 20, ends with March 21. Are you able to understand this part?
Sir, we can decide, sir, if we want like from some other months, sir.
Yeah, in between, if you're starting, then it can be from between to March, but it has to be April to March. It cannot be different. Income tax act, income tax, government will not accept it. There are a lot of other rules that accepts it, but income tax is very clear that it has to be April to March, because it is there in the law. Government has clearly told it. So we have to follow that rules. Okay, not okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, this is my accounting period. Now we come to end of the first topic. So when you were studying, let's say in LKG, UKG or pre-KG, when your teacher started teaching you the English language, did she start directly, how to teach you how to write sentence or paragraphs?
No, sir.
Oh, sir.
So initially we started alphabet, A, B, C, we practiced that. And once we came to maybe UKG or first standard, using this alphabet, we started, writing meaningful words. And slowly when we came to the higher standards, we using these words, we learned to build sentences and slowly paragraph. Then we started writing chapters and books. So can I say this is a cycle of English language?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
same we have a cycle of accounting, or a process of accounting is, first it starts with transaction. You need to identify a business financial transaction. Then measure in terms of money. So after you do that, the next step is journal. From journal, you go to ledger. From ledger, it is trial balance. From trial balance, one leg will go to trading and profit and loss account, and another leg will go to balance sheet. Another leg is going to balance sheet. So this is called cycle of accounting. You cannot bypass the cycle. Just the way you cannot bypass from alphabet, you cannot start directly paragraph. Likewise, you cannot start directly trial balance or ledger. So this is technically a first step of accounting. This is technically a first step of accounting, which means accounting cannot start without journal entry. So if anything in accounting you have to change or record, it will start with journal entry. You cannot directly start ledger. You cannot start trial balance. You cannot do directly trading P&L and balance. I hope I'm clear with this point.
Yes.
So this is the first step which I wanted to, first chapter which I wanted to give information. We have covered roughly around 10 to 15% of your first chapter. So
Okay.
do we take a break of, let's say, 5 minutes and come back and do the second chapter?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Take a break for 5 minutes, guys.
Okay, sir.
तो अगला सेशन कितने बजे?
1 second. So I put the timetable in the group, right? 1 second.
7:15.
It is 7:15. You can take a break. It's now 6:03, right? We'll start by 6:10 or 6:12 also you can start. Because I need at least, I'll need 40 to 45 minutes to explain you the first 2 pages. Feeling tired already?
What, sir?
Are you guys feeling tired already? Little bit, no? Yeah, actually, it's a draggy session. Actually, we are late. That's why we have to take little bit more effort. So maybe this Saturday, Sunday, next Saturday, Sunday, it will be like that. After that, once you be in line with all the other students, no, it will be normal for you guys.
Yes, sir.